إلا هو العزيز الحكيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله.
Amen. Shukran, Imam Jallo. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Lord God, Almighty God of grace, God of mercy, God of compassion, we continue to ask that of your almightiness that you will grant all of us, humankind that you have made in your image and in your likeness, that we will be bold enough to confess of the evil deeds that each and every one of us have done, that we should be ready to surrender, because there is nothing that is hidden from your sight. Oh, knowing that, Lord, we should not be afraid to tell our fellow human being and to confess of our evil deeds, so that from now on, repentance and reconciliation will work for the common good of all. And so we continue to submit all the witnesses that will come here in the TRRC, and we ask that by your grace, they will be bold enough to confess of what they have done in the past and to seek for forgiveness and for reconciliation. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much indeed, Bishop Odeko. Council, we are still dealing with the National Intelligence Agency. As we have said, and many of us here, that it was the institution that was at the center of gross violations of human rights and abuses that we have been mandated to look into. Hence, the focus, as we said earlier, is still on that agency. Before you bring in your witness, you may want to just throw some light on our continuing focus on the NIA, and this is going to go on for a little bit longer. Council, you have the floor, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, commissioners, and members of the audience. Indeed, we are still proceeding with the investigations into the violations carried out or perpetrated by the NIA. We are still on this particular topic simply because the NIA was at the heart of the violations that occurred. Quite clearly, what has emerged is that Yahya Jammeh has used the NIA as the place and the instrument he would use to torture Gambians and instill fear on them, so that he would achieve his objectives of perpetuating himself in power. Because of the central role played by the NIA in this whole matter, I mean, a lot of violations occurred at the NIA. So we are still on it. The witness for today is one person who was adversely mentioned as head of special operations, and we calling him today to answer to the allegations against him, but also to help the commission understand what were the functions of the special operations and how they contributed to the violation of rights of Gambians. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you very much for that bit of information. I think it's good from time to time to remind the public of the roadmap that we have going on. You may now proceed to bring in your witness if you're ready.
I, Lamin Darboe.
Nte
I, Lamin Darboe.
Nte Lamin Darboe.
Nte Lamin Darboe.
Do swear that
Mben kalila ko.
Ben kalila ko.
I'll speak the truth,
Mbe toñale fola.
Mbe toñala fola.
the whole truth,
Toña damma.
Toña damma.
and nothing but the truth.
Nte fem fola men manke toñati.
Nte femmo fola men manke toñata.
So help me God.
Woto alama ale ndema.
Wato ala yemma koy.
See.
Good morning, Mr. Witness.
Isama Sedo.
Welcome to the TRRC.
Mbe bismillah TRRC jang.
You have, could you, that thing,
Sorry.
the rosary bead, the beads that you have on you, could you just pass it over to one of your family members? Or keep it away somewhere? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nimbar.
Mola. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. May I crave the indulgence of the commissioners to accommodate us a little bit while that vehicle is being moved so that the reflection would not affect the commissioners where they are seated. Our sincere apologies for that. In the meantime, Mr. Darboe, welcome to the TRRC.
Mr. Darboe mbe bismillah ndila TRRC.
Welcome.
Thank you. Could you sit either closer to the microphone or you draw it closer to yourself?
Okay.
Take a sitting posture that would make you feel comfortable.
Si nyama membe de handila satara se fansoto a nyama.
Okay, welcome.
Mr. Darboe, you have just taken an oath
Mr. Darboe yekali wole ke jang sayin.
to speak the truth.
Webe to nyale fola.
Yes. You know it's a criminal offense in the laws of this country to lie under oath.
Luati nyalom nyim banko kang puriye kali wokola yana kuma soto balofo.
Ngakalamta.
I'm aware.
It is also an offense to provide false testimony to the TRRC.
Nyim fana mu luati nyalti ka kuma soto balofo TRRC si woto jang.
Ngakalamta.
I'm aware.
Today, I want to discuss the following things with you.
Bi mbela fila niye kacha nyin kulu la mbina menu folateng.
Bismillah.
Your biographical information,
Follow italom jumati toni kontongo ibota daming ifango ikalango Kenya.
the creation of the Special Operations Unit of the NIA and its functions,
Aning yo bunda melondi NIA ikafaye Special Operations wolem do kulu menu ye nyala tombong itamando aning ila do ko mumuneti.
the operations that you participated in,
Aning ibarata do kulu menu la itema beta menu to.
and specifically we would want to talk to you about particular incidents.
Andu kola mbelafla ke ini diamu ndi kodo la meni alon kol mu kukeri ngol leti foka pare.
One is Silaba Samate.
Kilimbije wolem silaba samate la kuoti.
The second is Lamin Darboe and all the people he was arrested together with in the botched drug deal that was taking place in Birkama.
Fulanjango wolem Lamin Darboe aning ya ni molu menu be muta nyola bring wo sira fenjawo kunya akobe tama akod men keta Birkama kolu menu ketaje wo fanan lata nyaming.
That should include Lamin Darboe, Fernando Ku, Ansumana Fati, Lamin Sima, Tijan Dur, Alaji Sajo, and Karamo something.
Wolem nyimolu ti ay nyil menu be to foteng wolebe ko nyin kono.
We would also talk about Abbas Jaju, Joko Sow, Seydou Sow, and Kamara.
Mbe lafila fana niedia mu nyimolu la ko la Joko Sow aning ay menu to foten fokana bula Seydou Kamara la.
We would also talk about the case of Yusufa Seydi.
Andumbe Yusufa Seydi fana mbe lafila niyo fana na ko kacha.
We would talk about Sadio Toure. Others call him Mustafa Toure.
Mbe lafila fana niye Sadio Toure la kumo fodolu ka fa Mustafa Toure.
From Fajikunda.
Membota Fajikunda.
We have to talk about the Yaya Jammeh's butcher who was taken from Abuko.
Mbe diamula Yaya Jammeh la busur lala ye membondi Abuko.
We will talk about Sehu Drame
Mbe
from GNPC.
Mbe Sehu Drame fana na kumo fola membota GNPC.
We will talk about Sam Kambai and Keba Seka and Co.
Mbe Sam Kambai nin Keba Seka fana na kumo fola la atenimo kotengolu.
We will talk about the arrest and disappearance of Abdoulaye Gueye.
Abdoulaye Gueye ya muta ayemanta bitun wo ko fanan ketanya mimbe lafila niyo fanan kacha.
We would talk about your role in the torture of Captain Jallo and Captain Job along the margins of the investigations of the 30 December 2014 attack.
Mbe lafila niyedia mu Captain Jallo anin Captain Job la kuwa la December karotil tansa bobo inkandiro la kunya luto.
We would talk about your involvement with Jahate of Golden Real Estate.
Mbe lafila niyedia mu fanan Jahate la kuoto me yalon kwa bulobe du kukono ikafo me Golden Real Estate.
Lansana Yafa.
Anin Lansana Yafa.
Ibrahima
Jaite.
And Konjira.
Anin Konjira.
We will talk about your interactions with them.
Ita ningoli ye kolu menu tamandi mbe lafila ni yedia mu fanana.
It's a long list.
Jam fatalde.
We would want to finish today.
Andumbe lafila ngabambi.
If you cooperate and answer questions directly, we would finish quickly.
Niya sono yandi yanyinin karolu jabi anyama tilingu kang mbe mbandi la junale.
If you don't, then we would spend a lot of time here.
Nima ke wanyadung woto mbe mela jannede.
So it's just like the dentist. You go there, you cooperate, the tooth is extracted easily and without much pain.
Amunta ni tata nyinjara la ya ini nyindimingo purka sono yandi ay nyingo bondi yesong isaje kulisi sono ya.
But if the patient is difficult and does not cooperate, well, the tooth would be extracted, but it would be very painful and long and difficult.
Arbitun ni nyindimingo futata nyinjara la madungo nyingo nyanta wutulale itemari imanna song kuli sono ya abe melal de ando abe diminna le fanang fojal ni nyingo be wutula.
And sometimes all that would not be necessary.
Andun tumodolu atakela ko ubeo nyanta kela le fang.
So the ball is in your court.
Silam bitun ko bebe laring ifangola ma fangolela.
Are you ready to begin?
Say ipareta le banga damuta.
Yes.
What are your full names?
Itoni kontong mumuneti.
Tom Lamin Darboe.
My name is Lamin Darboe.
You're very soft-spoken, so you have to speak up or speak into the microphone so that you would be heard clearly.
Yo bitun wairi la diamo buka saribake foye kango wulindi wala ye diamo fo microphone kono pour mol samoy.
Date and place of birth?
E wuluta lunjumale ani wuluta sate jumale to.
Wuluta Jara Burenne.
I was born in Jara Bureng.
I think 12 June 1976.
12 June 1976.
Where did you go to school?
e karanta karambunjumale to ya follow dami
That Burem Primary School.
I attended Burang Primary School
From 1988 to 94.
from 1988 to 1994.
And then?
And I proceeded to Sukuta Middle School, 1994.
I proceeded to Sukta Middle School in 1994.
What is your highest level of education?
ila londo tukumo men jalon ko atele seleta ila londo bundalu beti wala mjumati
Grade 9 certificate.
Grade 9 certificate.
Do you have the certificate with you? I had asked you to bring it.
fo certificate o nyimbe bulle jamban kadu nga fo ene num pour ya nati
I think I do. Inshallah.
I think it's with me.
All right, I would see it later. Correct?
mbajela le nyato do manding
Thank you very much.
inumbara
What did you do after you finished grade 9?
briye grade 9 karango bang yemune foloke
By the way, do you realize that grade 9 is 3 years of education post-primary school?
fayni lonko grade 9 amunta imari ye ni bota primary karambu muta amunta ye sanji saba doron ne karang kala primary karambu nyinna wuce o kan walam grade 9
I'm aware.
What did you do after you finished grade 9?
briye grade 9 bang yemuneke
I'm thinking.
I did nothing.
When did you join the NIA?
idunta NIA do koto sanjumale
1999.
And to what position were you appointed at the NIA?
ridunta je foloke ye palasi jumale dila NIA
Physical security guard, Kantar Bundal.
I was a security guard.
You mean you were a security guard
walem nyindi ko etemo kantar laleti
at the gate?
bunda to bang
Yes.
Why were you employed as a security guard?
munan na yeta keke bunda kantar lati
Enta wala malo mna enta.
I was recruited for that. I do not know why.
Nadati jail.
That was where I started from.
But wasn't it clear that because of your level of education, that was the only position or one of the positions for which you were qualified?
fo ila londo la dangwa danta daming fo le manke dalilo ti munanna yo palaso dila wala wolem palaso ti ila londo nimmen makamo tembeta
Sikeno.
It could be.
It is not, it could be.
amanke ko asekeno
That was the truth.
wala mutonyati
That is what you were qualified for.
wala mu palaso ti ila londo abe tembo mento ise mem do ko men keno
Seeing that the certificate you had was in fact below secondary 4 certificate.
katu ya jele ko certificate o men bebulo abe secondary 4 makamo ye dumale
It was the lowest certificate anyone can have in the education system of this country.
womu certificate leti me ya lon ko wole duma yang kata certificate olu beti mo semen sotonno ni ye karango ke nyimbanko kan
I'm listening to you.
You have to answer the question. This was the lowest certificate issued by the education system of this country.
be jabiro kelele ñinon certificate oti men jita certificate olu beti karambungulu men karanta karambungul to isi men sotonno natara e karanta Gambia la ñin karambun santon kolleto
Ngasi keno because man fanta do kola.
I said it could have been because I did not employ myself.
No, the question is,
ñinin karo moment
this is a matter of fact, which you know.
ñi muto ñalti men ite fama yalong
Do you know of any other certificate
fo
issued under the authority of the state which was below grade 9 certificate?
fodum ite yalon ne ban certificate do si soto ñim banko kan ñing banko la karango silolu be ñamin isi men dino mola me yalon ko wala jita grade 9 certificate oti duma fo abijele bayte si bo men kalama
Of course, you know of none.
wala ñente atije
Do you agree?
isonta wala
I heard you.
Mr. Witness, answer the question.
sedo ñinin karo jabi
Mawolong.
I don't know that
You don't know of any certificate that is below grade 9 certificate?
No.
Answer?
I say honey, no.
No.
Thank you very much. You walked at the gate
yedo ko ke bundato
and you were later transferred inside,
ko kola inate sawundi konoto
correct?
wala mbang
Yeah.
true
And to what responsibility?
biri dundi konoto ye mun do kule dila woto
Inke oddly Latin.
I was made an oddly.
And do you know what is an oddly? Give us a description, a definition of oddly.
fo yalon ne munen oddly la do koti wo oddly ya munen a fatam fansi nya jambang
Otumo na do ko menti ka
At the time,
Director-
my responsibilities were
Director General ka kala kantarlati nin ka makoy ala hajo do ko dol.
you become the guard of the Director General and also to help him with other tasks.
What are these other tasks?
mun leon wo do ko lu doluti ka makoy menna
See official assignments deal or kilaria or whatever.
He could give you official assignments, also send you on errands.
The fact of the matter is, as orderly, you are to be his close protection person, correct?
ko moment wala nyinti niketa oddly oti amunta etele kake abalama kantalati ka kanta mensi katala
Correct?
Awoba ko ofana ole ha.
Yes, that's part of it.
To carry his things,
kala
like
fengolu
his
samba
papers, his documents, his briefcase, and things like that.
kala kaito lu samba ala sakoso ani wonyom fu fasongolu
Correct?
fonde
Ha.
Yes.
And to be his errand boy, to be running his errands.
ani na sulata kilaria la ayemari ki kata ninna ala kilaria rol
Ha.
Yes.
It involved no clerical or intellectual task.
andu doku ta kono me ya lonko asike klak ya dokoti walla asike londi dinkarin dokoti
Correct?
fonde
The commission would deduct an answer from his silence, because it's,
ila deo commission ba jube la ila deo dalilo momenti wal ba jube la
you have no response.
wayri man jabiru soto
I do. Na sotola.
I have a response.
Respond, please.
woto jabiro di
Security do ko
The work of security,
tambita ka ya describe nyamen to my understanding.
is more than the manner in which you described it, by my understanding,
Much more security member ko intelligence.
especially matters of intelligence.
Yes, but
And
at this
yeah.
stage, did you undergo any training?
baro tembo fodu ye sambale ka kata do ko karambang
Nemo security guard gate amanke ko eka bunda yelo dammalke we are lando ko mu record chipping net.
Could you answer the question?
If you are a security guard at the gate, your responsibilities are not just to open and close the gate.
Could you answer the question?
Did
Did you undergo any training?
Fodung birieta o tembo be security guard yal. Yes, samba karangula le bang.
Ha nga karanjama je.
Yes, we had a lot of training there.
Did you do any training on personal security?
Fodu ye karangu kele me ya lonko wolem hadama dingo tankarang kay karangote alondo.
Yang indo training jamake.
We had several indoor trainings.
Like what?
Melubeko.
Like be même security yati be detainil bin kasoto je be garde la nyaadi le. Okay.
Like what is security? How do you guard the detainees in there?
Molmin kana.
The people that come in.
La na nyalu ni la ta nyalu.
They are coming in and going out.
Official men be konoto.
The officers inside.
Molmin kataje.
The people that go in there.
Are you trained on the people who go there?
Fo ye karan le pour molu menu kata official to kata.
Momo nata je kata office to nyanta lon na nyinkata ni office kareto ya record adunda wato me na fundita wato me.
Anyone that comes to the office, you record their time of arrival, to what offices they are going into, and also you record their departure time.
Are you talking about the job or are you talking about the training?
Ebedo ko Kenya le fo kambam fodum ye karandi men ite kolu menu karang ebol le fo kan.
He taught me that as well.
Okay. And what else?
Nimu.
Aning alaman tankala ning problem sulto je o emergency o by almarta alkamara mollela.
And also, God forbid, if there is any serious happening there, since you are there guarding people. If such situations arise, how you would be able to protect yourself and also to protect those detainees?
You would agree with me from what you have just described. This is just some orientation on the job that you are to do on a day-to-day basis.
Nisi somma ite kamem foten womu yitandiro le tipuru ite mari nyanta bara la menna ila do ko kono luwolu ni nata do ko la.
True.
Fonde.
Zonta.
I agree.
After working, for how long did you work as an orderly?
Ye wu chejelle do ko orderly yala ye wati jelle ke orderly yala.
Physical security or orderly?
Orderly.
Orderly.
2 years, so I think 2 years. Two. Sanji Fulani Fenda.
A little over 2 years.
And who was the DG to whom you served as orderly?
Jumala mu DG tinu ite mumena orderly tinu otumo.
Dabo Marina Safle.
I served Daba Marina.
And then?
Harry Sambo.
And then?
Pajallo.
And after that, where did you go? Where did you move to?
Biro batale saundi mintole.
I was in the investigation department.
I was moved to the investigation department.
Who moved you there?
Jumale saundi je.
Momodu Hydra, if I can't remember well.
Momodu Hydra.
How did it happen?
Oketa nyadi le.
And transfer investigation department purunga do ko nyimfa mo.
He transferred me to the investigation department so that I'll be able to get to know the job better.
To become an officer, to become an agent.
Purunyin kamala yena ke agentoti do ko bunda fan kono je.
Isn't it?
Fonde.
Yes.
Yes.
What was the minimum qualification for agent?
Pour que agent wote wala mdoku la membe tarla wudokulu kunna amarila londo makamo nyanta tembe juma anyanta tarla tembe juma leto
tete olonno la tembo.
I couldn't have known that at the time.
Tembo, yeah.
I couldn't have known what the qualifications were at the time.
Did you sit to the entrance exam?
For the yellow ndi kontibo kele bang examination.
Londi kontibo nyadi.
What kind of examination?
Londi kontibo ka for me examination palaso dolu
Selection exams.
Palaso dolu bije na mane sambaje ikatombondiro kele nyameng ika londi kontibo leke folo ika exam leke ne a pass yata o palaso to fo yo kele ba ke nyinin ka wala.
Did you sit to the selection exam?
Throughout Nataroje man selection exam kalamtaje.
I have not been aware of any selection examination there in my entirety of the entire time that I was there.
We do understand that oftentimes the NIA used to conduct selection exams.
Na nyimfaam ko wati ni wati NIA uluka wotombondiri londi kontibo kele.
We'll move on.
I was not aware of that.
And from investigations, where did you go?
Investigations. Yes, how
long did you remain at investigation?
Investigations. What is
investigation? Sanjifula or more.
I think I spent 2 years or more there.
And then? Which year? You can refer to your documents.
Sila kaito lujube puru asi hakilo bulandi.
From 2007 up to 2008-9.
From 2007,
my friend, it cannot be 2007 up to 2008-9. There is no such thing as 2008-9.
Ate keno lawote kabo 2007 kada 2008-9 o manke kusoto remote abe bola dulale to ay lo dulato.
From 2007 to 2009.
From 2007 to 2009.
And what did you do after that?
Bido botala inata muneke koteke.
In transfer special operation. Okay, investigation. Birimbe investigation.
While I was at the investigation department.
Okay, birim pajalo selection o doke no office auto.
Pajalo conducted a selection in the office.
Bondiro doke je.
And some people were selected.
A unit created for me special operation.
He created a unit called the Special Operations.
Okay.
I was amongst the people that were selected.
And office then.
So he will call people and they will go to his office.
Then few officers were selected.
You'll discuss with him, and then after that, few officers were selected.
Obviously, at this time, you had developed a good relationship with Pajalo, isn't it?
Biro tembo wayatarle inim Pajalo al temmo al bediaring fo amantara wala nyama.
No.
No.
Where dim Pajalo mandali.
I was not even used to Pajalo.
I served Pajalo for a very short period.
My friend, you were oddly to Pajalo.
Yes. I say, Golan and Koinga served partly.
That is why I said I only served him partly.
Look, Mr. Witness.
Okay.
You developed a close relationship with your principal, with whom you served as oddly, carrying his things on a daily basis, taking him from his home to the office, going with him everywhere. You developed a bond. Is that not true?
Well, I'm yintiko. Ebe mume ye oddly yala. ikala kaytolu samba ina kata ina kana alkaku jama'ata mandi nyote ma wairi atele muila kebati wo kono fo ina ye dali ali hadama ya Allah kule kata nyola hanfo silang ali nyo fahamu faman ke wala nyama
Council ekonga tonyala fo I will not lie.
Council, you told me to tell you the truth, and I will not lie.
Just answer the questions.
Nimpajalo mo soto mbuga samba suo kono.
We don't have that relationship with Pajalo. I never took him home.
Naka ben office holdo.
We only meet at the office.
Na saf na doko fana mamme.
And also, the time that I served him was not a long time.
Give us time. Give us time frames.
How
long did you serve him? We will always check the records.
Because akalafta kanterla kebal or dokula kebal and
I don't think it's up to 2 months because he said that he wanted an experienced guard and I was a junior officer.
And commander officer
He called me into his office and said to me, officer, he said to me, I think I will change you. He gave me his reasons.
What was the reason?
If at all this is not going to be forced out of me, I don't really want to say that.
No, we don't force anybody to answer questions. Here is not the NIA, where people are brutalized to answer questions.
But
the law is that when you are asked questions, you are obliged, legally obliged to answer.
Bari loi sembo mendi nyin bunda fanana wala nyinti ye nyinin ka kokundina loi ya fole pour ya jabi.
Wala nanko ko akabe mfalina la ori sino fonye ayo nkumanda ayo fonye bara dalilo
which was why I said
akenyin ka dalilo le la te dalilo lu men foye munana be falina.
Kansul pajallo mu fure walati I don't intelaf la kuma fo me alon ko obentina temala na amang ke mamel ko
Pajalo is late and I do not want to say anything concerning him since what transpired was between the two of us.
Answer the question and answer it truthfully.
If you want me to say it by force, I will say it.
You are not being forced to say anything. You are legally obliged to answer the question.
If I am forced by the law, I will say it.
Answer the question.
Wajalo said to me, officer, I will change you because I just married a Nigerian girl and she's a young girl and I am an elderly person and you are a youngster. So I'll bring an officer that is a little older.
This is the reason I meant for you.
Is where he is and I am alive here and this is the reason that he gave me.
Where would you see the wife?
Ako fo woto ite ebe karala musoje la mintole.
Of course, because
if my attachment to him had continued, I will undoubtedly meet his wife since I would be going to his home.
But you just told us a minute ago that you never used to go to his home.
I never go. I've
never been there. But what I said is that if
Mr. Witness, be careful what you say here.
I
am very, very careful and I'm aware of what I'm saying.
You just told this commission that you were never going to his house.
Yes.
Why would it now be the case that you would have to be going to his house? You are still in the same job. No change of job description.
Na waire sila muna ba kende la foi bitala bungo kono andun o bata la ibate o doku kilimala la adun ijanta doku menkela amam falin.
Kansul ni kam mo inko akola na abem falin na because ni na doku continue da fongata la suo kono
And so this is why I said he told me that he will change me, because if I continue to working for him, eventually I will go to his home.
Mr. Witness, that doesn't make sense. The fact of the matter is, before he changed you, you were going to his house. As an oddly, you are expected to escort your principal all the way to his home.
Nimbu odliti. Oto iteka odli yake meye. Nyimu lon kulon dimultiko. Ikatale ayaina katanyola le ayatu modolu.
That is why he changed you.
Wala na ye falling.
Namanantaya Pajaloya.
I never went to Pajalo's home.
Let's leave the matter. The commission has enough to determine whether you are lying about not having been to his house or not.
Nga kotu je commission wolubaju belele wairi kulu bekering ibalon na le fudung inene tata ya le fo inene mantaya.
And then he transferred you to where?
Biro botala le ye saundi minto
Investigation.
To investigation.
Even though you did not have the qualification.
Hanuwe atara emang kisiro fongolondo imakarang.
Yes.
He did you a favor.
Amunta wo mu makoiro leti.
Pajalo mande transfer investigation. Ko Mahmoud Hydra wale in transfer investigation.
Pajalo did not transfer me to the investigation. It was Mamadou Hydra.
It did not change the fact that you did not have the qualification.
Hanimbi wo manto nyanyim falinde ko ima alondo soto katu imakarang.
I agree. I agree.
And we've received a lot of evidence here that in the NIA there was a lot of favoritism in the way in which people were given positions. And yours is one case in point. You agree?
Na sede jamal le soto jang ku jamala karola ko NIA wati sotonda ika kolu kenyo yenne kanyo mako ika kolu tamandi nyoye je andu mukuleti me yalon ko allonta NIA wala do ko nyin kono fama anke wonya.
New favor more today, Pajalo Makente, because Nim Pajalo more relation.
If that was a favor done to me, it wasn't Pajalo, because we didn't have that relationship. And Hydra did it for you.
Officially.
It was Hydra that took me there officially.
So Hydra did you that favor?
If you see it that way, it's okay.
No, that is the way it happened.
I did not see it as a favor done to me by Hydra.
You just Hydra is a Gambian equally like me.
Yes, but you are a Gambian without qualifications. You just said it.
Gambian quality me ya lonko wodoko bunda ay men kaning itema londo soto utumo.
You had no qualification.
But for more than 6 years, I was fresh from school. I was learning some.
The work I was engaged in for 6 years, it was not as if I was just lying down and sleeping. I was also learning during all of that time.
What certificate did you get there?
Certificate.
Understanding the job.
So what certificate did you get there?
Knowing the work. That is what I got there.
Where is that certificate?
It's inside my head.
Look, stop playing games with the commission and respect the commission and answer questions properly.
Amunta ko momenti commission nyimbunya ye jabirolu ke anyama ni
Did you have a certificate there or you did not?
For ya kaito dilale ko nyi londi kari sotonne akenyi ninka wo kaito lela.
No.
Nothing to show for it.
Femfentije mens kaititije mensaitande ko ngani londi kari karanne.
Correct?
Fonde.
Okay.
Okay.
And you rose to become head of special operations.
Ando ila kuolu nata wuli wole nyama foi nata ke wo bunda fango nyato nkoti ikafo bunda me special operations.
Yes.
With no certificate apart from grade 9.
Certificate do table na manke grade 9 londote.
Yes.
But in certificate
But I was working alongside those who had certificates.
Yes. I don't want to get into that. Do you think it is fair that people have diplomas in other fields of advanced learning. You have only your grade 9 certificate and you are their boss. You think it's fair?
Itelu ya merenyin tilintale dolu karanta hanfo ye diploma lu soto londi silo luto. Silang yene palaso ditela me ya lonko wala palaso nyato andung ite grade 9 le soto wol ni la diploma fo tilintale.
Council, ma mera moka wuli doku lato lunkile yeke bosti.
Council, I don't think...
Just answer the question. Is it fair?
Ako fo tilintala kenyinin kawola natana itela miro to tilinta kenyinin kawola.
If they had taken somebody with primary 4
ni mota membe primary 4
and brought him in and make the person director of operations and you answer to that person, do you think that would be fair?
Sai ni o mari na ti primary 4 dindingo yake director ti operations lang ite bo wokoto do kola ite dum be grade ite grade 9 so to fete do yamere o mutilingol ti bang
tilingol en karango ni maralo manke kilemote.
It's proper. Education and responsibility is not the same thing.
Mr. Witness,
sedo
our system does not work like that. Our system says to get to this point you have to have this level of education.
Na system na kolu lanya men kanin jang akanyine kanin ko nyanta nyin londi kari soto nale ya kaito soto isina nyimpala sikari soto pour kadu ko kiji.
You did not have the qualifications.
Andung itema wo kaito soto.
The only qualification you had was beating people.
Ite londo men soto e la karole wala mnyinde kamolu lipa.
That's the only qualification you had which made you rise in that special operations.
Londo wala mliparo londo ye wala soto ye me yitandi wala na ye palaso soto.
Ala me yende da be sede arente na mana molipa.
God is my witness. I have never beaten anybody.
Al Quran le mutambo to diamo le jensai ni liparo
By the Quran.
What's your name again?
Eko to dum
Lamin Darboe. Lamin M Darboe.
Lamin M Darboe.
And what's your position?
Ila palaso mumuneti.
Officer commanding.
What? Officer commanding.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Hold a second.
Ila moido mandi.
Lamin Darboe, Officer Commanding Special Operations.
Lamin Darboe, Officer Commanding Special Operations.
No.
Before. Then, yes.
You are now Officer Commanding what?
Saying Officer Commanding Ibejum Palace Mal.
Gunjur Command.
Gunjur Command. A whole region.
Undumumeo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. And you said you've never tortured anybody. You've never lifted your hand and touched anybody. That's what you said.
I
never said I never raised my hand and hit someone. I said torture, that I never tortured anyone.
What do you understand torture to mean?
Yeah, torture, Nico torture, you faham nyadile, ete aja nyadile.
Torture may understand as torture.
What I understand torture to be
is very far from beating.
It's far from beating.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because okay.
That is not the same with beating.
So, Mudem Liparoti.
What is beating? Beating, I know you can beat somebody and the person experiences body pain. Or you slap the individual.
Yeah, but torture is different.
But torture is different. By my understanding.
And in the interaction with
You see, Mr. Witness, this is why training is important.
Sedo nyina kata karangola ka ko karang ya fahamu akummayata baki
This is why education is important.
wala na londo kummayata
You people are just promoted and given jobs
ya la palasolu la fadron yedo kulu dialla
without the requisite level of education.
andu woning makamo manta makamo me yalon ko le londo tie men karang men nyante futandilaw tembodo
And that is a serious tragedy for our country,
andu mu ko masay baletintel la nyim banko ya
especially for sensitive institutions like the National Intelligence Agency.
sako dinkira kummalu menu be ko banko la tanko nin kanto kullo dinkarim bunda.
The sad thing is, a lot of you people do not even have an inkling of what is an intelligence agency, what it is supposed to be.
Atelu jama bali kono fango alimalom fango munen de kulodin karingo do ko Kenya fangoti.
In most countries, the intelligence agency is staffed by the people with the highest level of education and appreciation in the country.
Banko dolu kam menu be o pala soluto sako intelligence wolem kulodin karingo do ko bunda wolmu molleti men ya lonko kayti saharim balle be bulu londi saharim balle be bulu janni be tala do ko la.
But in Gambia,
Bari Gambia
Council, okay.
You are only beating, but you are not torturing.
amunda wolem nyenti e kali paroke bari ibuka mo tocho.
Is that your testimony?
Well, follow mole mwela kumakangoti.
Ngali paroke damende ninga kalamdam be ha ngali paroke.
Yes, I did beatings.
No, nko niarta ko akon ngali paroke le bar mbuka tocho ko ning na case fonye me alo ngali paroke jemba fala ngali paroke.
He said I did do beatings but not torture. But if you mention any case where I actually did the beating, I'll admit it.
The question is,
Nyininkaro mumente.
what are you telling the commission?
Ebe muna fokan commission e.
You are only beating, but you are not torturing. Is
Kali
that
paroke
your testimony?
Kali paroke bari ibuka mo tocho. Fo dum wole famu ile kumakangoti ba.
No, ninga of which means ko nko nembeli parola o mbe tochola.
If I said that, it means I am admitting to beating or torture.
You just told the commission that you are beating, but you are not torturing.
No. Difference. Nko difference between beating na understanding to ani torture. Ndo le foka ntema fo inka ngamo butero ni inka butero le ko waranka torture le ma of council.
I didn't tell you whether I beat or torture. I was just trying to give you the difference between the definitions of beating and torture by my understanding.
Mr. Witness,
Selo.
are we in a different room?
Fombe bundo le kono.
Ani be bunkele ngako.
No, we are in the same room.
You told the commission a little while ago
Enyum fo commission e wati sutun komando ko.
you are disagreeing without hearing what I have to say.
Amunde be balande kang imana moy folo mbe mem fo kang.
So the attitude is just to say no.
Amunta wolem nyinti nyine be kono ka fodorong hani.
You told the commission a little while ago.
Yenyum fo commission e wati sutun komando.
I asked the question.
Na nyinin karo leke.
Are you telling this commission that you've never raised your hand to beat anybody?
Ay nyinin kanya na fo iteko inene me bulo wulindi purka moma kalipa.
You said no, you did not say that.
Iko hani itema wofo.
You said yes, you have raised your hand, you have beaten people.
Ifango ko ye bulo wulindi le de mo lipa.
But you don't understand that
I didn't say that.
Ma of na diamo kono.
I didn't say that in my
I did not
statement.
mention this.
Okay.
Council iko.
Council, you said
Ngali paro tocho ngam menke wole na place wulindi a rank of special operation.
that the torture that I was doing, that was what elevated me to the rank that I hold now.
Wole nyindiamu do je nati bar ntama fo en tocho le ko ngali paro le.
That is what brought this discussion.
Tocho wole entela place of futandi woto.
All right, let me ask the question again.
Yo woto mbat ngay nyinin ka kotake.
Have you ever beaten anybody in your job?
Itene ne mo lipa le bang ila do ko kono.
I cannot remember.
Mr. Witness, you are lying.
Sedo ebe kuma soto balole fokang.
You are simply lying. I have all your statements here and all your documents.
Amunde ebe fani ale fokang kaitu ifong la kuma kam safari ngulu bijang ila kaitu lu bijang.
In fact, let me just... Wait, let me go to your statement. I will take a look at it carefully, and we will come back to that. Your testimony is you have never touched anybody. You've never beaten anybody.
Good.
I never beat up anybody.
Answer clearly.
I cannot remember.
So witness. Playing games. I cannot remember.
I'm not playing games.
You cannot remember ever hitting anybody, or you've never hit anybody in the job. You are putting I cannot remember as a caveat, so that when you are caught, you now say, oh, now I remember.
Amunta hakilo mamuta ilafta wala kala sembera muti ning itata ko sede ya bondi watu meng iko ha nyina tale salno hakilo yaji.
Ngana jamal ke jante nanaman statement di ko ngamo butere.
I made several trips to this place, but I never gave any information that I beat up anybody.
Answer the question. The question is not whether in your statement you have said you have beaten anybody. That's not the question. The question is, Mr. Witness, answer my question.
Okay.
You cannot be answering your own question. You understand? Have you ever beaten anybody in your job? And don't give me this remember thing. Answer yes or no.
I never beat up anybody in the course of my work.
Thank you very much. In fact, do you realize that you are the most notorious torturer at the NIA?
Falung, imanyim fahamuko. Menu be tobo ta tajire yala NIA ite fong be kono.
That is not true.
In fact, do you realize that you are, apart from Alaji Moore, you are the second most mentioned torturer at the NIA?
Emanyi lonko Alaji Moore kola. Menu diamuta ye tolu menu fo itolo moti mento la tajire ya siata ye tolu menu fo itele to siata o to fo ringulu kono Alaji Moore kola.
If that was said, it is not the truth.
All the witnesses who testified against you, that you are the boss of the torturers, they were all lying against you.
Menu be diamuta jang. Iko tajirewulu kono men kamolu tilimbalia etele moyla nyato nkoti ka foko sayin e ka foko ulbebe faniyalla
meni o fujang e mira kumol le fa be faniyalla.
Those who say those things are always speaking what they want to say and it's a lie.
Now let's talk about
these are allegations against me.
Yes, because what is so special about you that all these people would come and lie against you?
Say munana etemu jumaleti hanu fo nyimolu bebi na la jang bebe te kilin tofola munam woti fayete da manne jije bang.
Okay, all mol mujumani jumaleti silanga mela.
In fact, who are those individuals?
And just answer the question.
Ani kenyinin kamen ko yo jabi.
Malo mune bulawala.
I do not know what led them to saying those things.
Let's talk about Lamin Darboe.
Lamin kabula kumofo.
And his arrest
Alamuto
and that of the people he was being investigated with.
ani mulu ibani mennu la kuo kisi kanyola.
Lamin
Kabu.
Fernando Ku. And Sumana Fati. Lamin Sima.
Tijandu.
Alaji
Sajo.
And others.
Anindo kotengu.
Did you touch any one of them?
Fodun wolu kono ite bulo man ma hani mo kilin ne kono.
All these people that you have mentioned, I know nothing about their issue. I did not touch any one of them.
Yeah.
Yes. During the course of that entire operation, what I did there, I told the investigators, I think I even told you.
Which is?
Wala munti.
I said during the course of the operation, when we left Brikama,
nata modol ningo operation kodo nyimborta.
The people who had that operation money ran away.
Aning suspected drug onying.
With the suspected drugs.
So
we were in that chase.
Okay, mol men operation ground out Brikama.
At the operation ground in Brikama, the people who were arrested there were taken to Banjul.
Okay, we came to
Banjul in the night.
Babu, I cannot remember. Babu Cham, Mala Nijumal Samanam Banjul.
Babu Cham and some other person, I cannot remember, were the ones that were brought to Banjul.
Bring all drop Banjul.
When we dropped them at Banjul,
they will proceed and that guest house dolbe Bakote.
We proceeded to one guest house in Bakote.
All right. Okay, finish.
Okay, ntenga lao guest house also with Lamin Hydra and one Mahmoud Sise.
I spent the night there with Lamin Hydra and one Mahmoud Sise and Dembambai.
Dembambai, if I can remember. But 4 of us or 3 of us. Then BJ for Somanda around 11 Mafang.
We were there in the morning around 11 a.m.
Monata Dunta guest house auto.
Someone came and entered the guest house.
Okay, but Janni Moni Mina.
But before that person came in,
bring around after 10 Somanda.
Around after 10 a.m.
Another Hydra Kumandi, Lamin Hydra.
They called Lamin Hydra.
Because Atlem financial director then.
Because he was the then financial director.
Prateta officer at mall attend.
So that he could go to the office and attend to people.
Then I intend Mamadou Sise to ye.
He left me and Mamadou Sise.
Okay. Ni Mamadou Sise be ye for in time moment for after 11.
So I was there with Mamadou Sise until this time, around after 11. We saw a man come in and enter into the guest house.
Okay. Adunta drone. Komamu de abla fire dum bila dunta drone dunta no manga be futala drone abelori reception ya bila engine bedun kan rek he started running.
I told Mamadou to wait for him until he enters inside. So as soon as he got in, we followed and we found him at the reception. No sooner did he see us than he began to run.
We chased him.
And we chased after him.
Actually.
We chased him from that restaurant.
Therefore, Bakote SOS, I cross.
We went up to the Bakote SOS. He ran across the road.
Okay. Dunda street door
we got into one street.
Was Kanyat link Kotu Mafanglaje.
It was the street was heading towards Kotu.
A self-defense was Santo.
He climbed over a fence.
After Bira self-defense was and after Jolon Ngai Kokani fight near Jolombe Bunakidola.
He climbed on the fence and wanted to jump to the other side, and I told him, don't do it, because if you try that, I will shoot you.
By Janning, after file, I warning shot Kesanto.
But he wanted to throw himself over to the other side of the fence, and I shot a warning shot.
abe fenso kan fa nge mina suti ala dron ala ftay jolan na konoto.
He was on the fence and he saw me coming. As I was getting closer to him, he tried to jump over. I shot him on the leg.
Was he armed?
For jorango babulu le bangate fanang.
Birimba sudla mawolo ba birim fudata mangasiga manjoran jawul ma am jawul.
When I was shooting him, I did not know about that. But when I found him and picked him up, I did not see any arms with him.
Did he threaten you with harm in any way?
Faye silandi le kombe nyin kukari kelela wala ay jorang bondi ke silandi.
Hani?
No.
But na briefing to ngani information osoto ko se Guinea Bissau sojaro dolbe nyin konole. Nyin drug operation konole.
During the course of my briefing, I was informed that there were some ex-Guinea Bissau soldiers who were involved in this drug operation.
Okay.
Here you are. You just shot at somebody who was running away.
Saying ifelenti jang yemu bung membe borikan nung.
Apprehend, yes?
Is,
so that I could apprehend him, yes.
Any threat?
Apprehend, yes?
So that I could apprehend him.
Were you under any threat?
Ininkaro munyene fo etebe tembo mendo tumo ibe sila nyale kono banka fo kube kelela.
Of course.
What threat?
Mune wo sila nyati.
Mbeme no malong anunga so ngai kibaro sotoko. Guinea Bissau soldier fula be nyun kono le.
But the person that I was pursuing, I do not know the person, and I also got information that 2 Guinea-Bissau soldiers were involved in this operation.
Mr. Witness, you did not see the person with any arm. He was climbing over a fence. You even had the chance to speak to him. Correct?
I was talking to him, yes?
Yes.
But at a very far distance.
Yes, but you did not see any weapon pointed at you. He was far away from you. Why did you shoot him?
I shoot him so that he will not escape from me.
Precisely.
I shot him so that he would not escape.
But do you think that is a justifiable use of force?
In the air.
But I gave him a warning shot in the air.
But it is justifiable. Okay. Just a moment. If something was happening here and I come and give a warning shot and people don't respond, I have a right to shoot them?
Ninata jangam kube ke kanjanga mulu diamundi hanufo ngakido faisanto purke silandi imanjabi fodung nyimunna nyantolti purke bung.
Council, drug operation is always risky, very, very risky.
What was the risk against you?
Munemu kukolengoti masibaku mensi tilino itela.
This guy was climbing over the fence. He had no weapon. You were under no threat. What was the risk against you?
Nyimari jiburantabulu abe borikang purka selesan sangola fasi kana. Sa oto kuti je menyantete silandila.
Nyimari botna nte o direction maf o direction olda. So na imba mbore ni fo mafangola andunga nola bembul je ko sojaro le benyin ko koma. Akasaunda maskeno akandundi fenne kanje.
This man is coming from the
only
area that he was running towards, and I also got information that they were ex-soldiers, they were soldiers in this operation. So perhaps he was just trying to take me to a zone where they could compromise me.
Yeah.
Mr. Witness, you perceived no immediate threat to you.
Wotembo silanya kute je itesi dumenkono.
There was none.
Of course.
Where was it?
There was a threat.
Where was the threat?
In that fence, in that compound, I don't know who is there or what is there.
And that is the threat?
Yes, to me, yeah.
Mr. Witness, you are truly one of a kind.
What kind?
You are not truthful.
Barka.
Thank you.
You are not truthful.
Barka.
Thank you.
There was absolutely no threat. You saw him with no weapon. All he was doing was running away. By the fact that he was climbing over the fence means that he was getting away from you and not coming to you. There was no threat to you.
I heard you.
shooting him was unjustified.
Ka bunkido la o amanke kuti menin silo tata.
Zonda.
I accept.
And when you went back to the NIA, nothing happened to you.
Adumbiri muluta NIF kuo kundi mamboje kumankela.
You were not even investigated for shooting him.
Hani ka itela ko kusikisi ka foko yemole bung afango manke.
But femma mawoto and wole no shooting wole fanayat nga kodo nyin droko nyin recover.
But nothing was hidden. But that shooting that I did also led to the recovery of the money and the drugs.
And you think that the fact that you have recovered money has justified the shooting that you made?
Kafoko aliye kodo nyinje wole duya atilindi di silo lako otorite bundiro menke wole nyanda.
Council mang nimbun kido la pour ka fa. Nga shoot le pour ka apprehend.
Council, I did not shoot this individual to kill him. I shot him to apprehend him.
It was excessive use of force.
Ano fanga amunta sembola na tambita mandole mote.
Okay, Sonda.
Agreed.
In fact, you were trigger happy during that operation.
Amunta silang atelu alijikita kidifayo lanu wokonyi nkono.
Mame kidolo wote kontan kidifayo.
Anyone that knows a gun would not be trigger happy.
Well, that was not the first set of bullets you issued.
But amanke ko wole mkidifai follow ite menke.
Those are not the first shots you fired.
Amanke wole
That is the first bullet I fired.
That is not true.
Apart from Bilabote na warning shot.
Apart from the warning shot which I released earlier on.
The operation the night before you fired shots.
No.
Allah janjum follow menketa suuto janni wo fanikewa yekido fay jele.
Oman soto witness all na rejanne be o no senendi male very well.
That is not
and I
true.
told your investigators I did not fire. That was an allegation.
What happened?
Minanatake.
Did bullets come out of your weapon?
Of course, yes. In the car that I was in.
But that's not true. You just said that as a cover-up. You fired shots.
Council, the taxi driver was here and he attests to that.
He attested to what?
To the misfire that occurred in his car.
Which taxi driver?
A taxi driver he came here, we all came here our first trip with that taxi driver and a witness to that particular incident.
There was a shootout in that operation.
Shoot out?
Yes, so confirmed it.
No, that's not correct.
So
That's not correct.
Mr. Witness, you were quick to fire your weapon. You wanted to hurt people.
No, that's not correct.
Itariate la kido faila itelafta molu dimindila nundoro.
Operation Omume Beto Council Brikama for Brikama
that
for
operation in Brikama
Bakote.
from
Kidiman
Brikama
Faiji.
to Bakote, no gunshots were fired.
Teman kiditi fa kalam tawoto.
I don't even know anyone with a gun.
Yes.
But you had a gun.
Of course.
But kido betabul.
Yes.
Bullets were fired from your gun.
Adun kesolu fighter kaboila kido kono.
I have misfire and I gave that side of the story. That was in the taxi, in between my legs. Five motor taxi saw.
It even penetrated
Taxi
the
driver
taxi.
came here. The
Did
witnesses
you
came
have
here.
any injuries?
I'm not firing single man. I motor saw.
I did not
motor
say
saw
that
down.
it hit my leg. It went downwards and bore a hole through the taxi.
We would look further into that, but I know I could recall, so I asked him these questions. Were shots fired? And he said yes. Let's move on.
As far as I am concerned.
No, let's move on. Let's move on.
Let me, please allow
Yes,
me.
go ahead.
Ntela kalamutaroto.
As far as I'm aware,
Operation Brilliant sent to reinforce these people.
when I was sent to make as reinforcement to the
Brikama
operation, Brikama Kembuje,
For buying and selling betak and dame.
up to the spot where the buying and selling was taking
Demon
place,
so jawoto.
I did not see
So did not say he was present.
Okay.
So ma fo kabijede.
Now I information the past week is not correct. Definitely.
If he had said that, then he passed on an
There
information
was
which is not
no
correct.
fire.
Mr.
fire
Witness.
at that cost, yeah.
Selo.
So never said he was present. In fact, he said he was not in the operation.
So ma fabije andung ama ayafale fankate mantar operation o
No, he was nako mantra operational that's not correct.
If he says that
He
he
went
was
for the
not in the
subsequent
operation,
arrest.
that is not correct.
He went for the subsequent arrest.
Atetata mabe molle kono menu tata mutarola.
Council, sorry to clear this point, please. So, in operational, entirely musola operational. Then he was the director of external CEO. What more atlemu director the memoratan bantala mol staff solmen.
And this operation was entirely source operation because at the time he was director of our agents who were posted outside.
What was his title? What was his title?
Director of external.
Director of external what?
External affairs.
What?
Director of external affairs.
You don't even know the proper titles of the positions in the NIA.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any position as director of external affairs?
Director of Martin staff solmen be banda. That's how we
tell us in English what is the proper title.
Who are posted outside of the
director
Gambia.
Responsible. Whoever director that is responsible for external staff, that's how we call them.
Tell us the proper title.
Amunda palaso nyinto akawale nyininga.
DEX, that's what I told you.
D is what?
DEX, Director of External, Director of External Services.
You had to take it from the commissioners?
It's no problem, however, but what I'm trying to say...
The fact of the matter is,
what
Mr.
I'm trying to tell you, fine.
Listen, don't talk over me.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, I'm not talking over you.
Good. You don't even know the titles of the positions at the NIA. Isn't that disappointing?
Thank you.
That's very good.
No,
Thank
Amam Betea.
It is not good.
It is disheartening.
Thank you.
But in
that operation, Mr. Witness, you are operating on high octane. When you went for the arrest of Babu Cham, didn't you?
Yes, I was part of that thing.
I was present, yes.
And when you arrived at the NIA with him, where did you go?
Babu Cham, I cannot remember exactly, but I was driving my own.
I cannot remember which vehicle he was in but I was driving my own vehicle.
Okay, bring a motor park.
When I parked the vehicle, when we got inside and I parked the vehicle, I climbed upstairs. I went inside and went upstairs.
Conference hall.
When I was getting into the conference hall, Babu Cham and others had preceded me, and I saw him removing his shirt.
Okay, that
was how I came down and went away. I did not even get into the conference hall.
And that's the time we left for that particular guest house. That interaction...
Mr. Witness, you have jumped a lot of things.
Okay,
let's listen to Babu Cham.
Please assist me.
He said, you arrived there with him. You are the people who escorted him in. You deny that?
That's not correct. That information is not correct, Council.
But if you were not there with him, how could you have seen him taking off his clothes?
But that's what I'm telling you.
Mr. Witness, listen. You said you were not there with him. You did not escort him there.
No, I did not say I did not escort him. Babu from his compound in Brikama.
From Brikama? I was in that team, but we were the last ones to return to Banjul.
Mr. Witness, this is not about being in the same car with him.
Okay.
I did not get into the conference hall.
Well, if he give that testimony, it's a false testimony.
Babu Cham said,
nobody will say
when he arrived there, listen, when he arrived there was Alaji Moore present, and Sukuta Jame, Lamin Mbai, Dembo Mbai. And you people arrived with him. As soon as you arrived, Alaji Moore was beating. He was beating this other guy, Fernando Ku.
abewdolu lipa kan ka fo me Fernando ku
and the others.
anin to ko tengolu
And you joined in.
bitu tumo ite fanana ta kafuima
Is he lying?
abe fanial
Elight nga babu testimony dol jamala testimony endambar babu cham la testimony I listened to it.
I missed some
Babu Cham
testimonies,
ko
but I listened to that of Babu Cham.
nga filo siga ko na kumbo nga fo kumbola le nal me de kumbola mbala fala len this is a completely lie.
Babu Cham said, I got
Council
in
de man
there
dum conference
and-
holo ko at all mo de taraw la
right.
ba fele ko Lamin Darboe
Okay, step by step.
I took away and I was telling the people who were tortured and crying that if they did not keep
Step
quiet,
by
I
step.
was going to add the beating. But that is a
Step by
lie.
step. When you arrived, was anybody being beaten?
biri futa je fi mata be moli pakang
man dum kono to nga wala foy
I did not get inside.
babu cham nga menje
That's what I told you.
nga babu cham jabe dindi ko bon babu ñolente sabanne because I have to park my car and come to upstairs.
Babu and others went before me.
Mbesele kan
But
biringa
when I
babu
got
jabe dindi
there,
ko ida ba dum kan o ba bondi kan
I saw Babu. It
I
was
stepped- I
either he
stepped
was
down.
removing his shirt or putting it on.
Did he,
de man dum kono to
I did not get
remove
inside.
all his clothes?
ala fingolu ala fero fero be urana ban
de mawoje
I did not see that.
So he did not remove his clothes.
amanda mala fengolu
ma
ban
ko mawoje
I
ko
said
wala
I
foy
didn't
ko
see
meduna
that.
wato
How
wala
could
nan ko
you-
meduna wato
The
me
problem is,
This is
Mr.
the-
Witness,
Uh-huh.
how could you not have seen it?
igma je no
Babu
nyaadi
Cham is not a small man,
babu cham manke mo ringoti
and he took off everything.
ando ala fengolu be urana
mawoje ala ala
I didn't see that.
did not
God
see
knows.
babu njay babu cham ala fengol be bon
Well,
I did not see him undressing.
okay, just hear me out.
Okay.
You saw him taking it off, but you did not see him take it off. That is what you said telling us.
amante be nyel fo kanko yaaje ko ay fengolu bondi bari ina ye nyim fana jele ko amanna la fengolu bondi même menti
ko
I said.
nga sayin kay nga men fo
Let me
please
repeat what I
Koy
said
ko.
to you. I said to you that
biri nga bunda conference holo bunda muta pour ka dum
when I
nga
held
babu
on the
cham
knob
je.
of the
babu cham
conference
jala
room,
dendi ko babul fo
And I
aba bondi kande ban fa ba dundi kande ban bari biri nga woje rek I get out of the conference hall I did not enter
Oh my God.
biri nga woje I did not enter
perhaps council you could.
I am not sure for abi dendi ko bondi kande ban fa ba dundi kande
Mr.
bari nga dendi ko jabulo kono le
Council, could
like
you,
this
could you ask
like if I
witness
want to either
speak
undress
slowly and
or whatever I saw nga dendi ko jabulo kono le council ndenga long ko mbe fala mbi no alquran wala muta I will not sit here
Mr.
and lie.
Witness, please save us that.
No,
Save
no, I
us
have to
that.
remind you, Komte Fangbe under oath.
Yes, you are under oath, but
Yes.
are you behaving like someone who is under oath?
Of
You've
course.
been lying consistently.
I don't lie.
Okay, let's proceed.
Okay?
Let's proceed. Okay?
Yeah.
Ansumana.
ansumana
Ngansumana.
ngansumana
He suffered serious injuries.
baramul
Which
ketabala
Ansumana?
Party.
ansumana
I don't know any of these people that you are talking about. I've never interacted with them throughout this operation, even Lamin Kabu or Lamin Sima. None of them. And I told you this. I told your investigators.
Babu Cham told this commission
babu chame nyinko fo commission to janko
that when they were taken to Bambadinka,
biri
or to
samba
the cell,
bamba
to
dinka
the other
wala
cell,
seloto
Ansumana told him that the injuries he suffered on his private parts were as a result of beating by Lamin Darboe.
ako baramulu menu ketabala hanfo akeya bala liparole yo siyama me yalon ko Lamin Darboe ya lipa
Okay. Sa in consulate fango jube momente ma long. Nama naje nama interact.
Now, council, look at
Yo-
this
yo-
this way. Someone that I have never met, someone that I have never known, someone that I have never interacted with.
Okay, yo lipa weta selo kono babu cham fango that was the first night I enteje. Babu where for babu cham ko Lamin Darboe lipa fa embarama. Anin conference holo me alon ko mandunje lipa robe kele yewato me I was not there.
And for that person to tell Lamin Cham, someone that I had only seen that night, when in essence I have not even gotten into the conference hall.
Sa intenga ngo tu de fango bulu dron sa ite o kiti ke amanjere
So
intenga
I leave that to you to make the judgment.
Because I was not there.
No.
I cannot be funny na
Mr.
ghost nata lipa jet.
Mr. Witness, you answer that question. Why would Ansumana Fati tell Babu Cham that it was you who inflicted that injury on him? And there were a host of other NIA agents. He didn't mention any one of them. He mentioned you, Lamin Darboe.
Ansumana I've
na
never
bafula
interacted with
ngansumana bafula
Sorry.
ko itele ya lipa fo ya barama ke yato adun NIA mo jamal le bije amammo mondin tofo wulu kono fa yete dammanne tofo munana bokela
Babu Cham ko Ansumana lewo fire. That is hearsay.
Babu
Fine.
Cham said that Ansumana told him.
Interact.
That
Babu
is
Cham
hearsay.
lembang Lamin Kabulemba, whoever. I was not part of that investigation.
I never interacted with these individuals. Okay, how would I beat someone that I have never interacted with? Or how would that person even know that this is Lamin Darboe? All right.
Na mina ko council. Na mina council kamu kidola wale garauta dan kamu lipa o kamu bute. And I told you this earlier.
Mr. Witness, allow for the interpretation.
Okay.
You want what you are saying to be recorded so that the commission would consider it in evaluating your evidence. So if you speak too fast, this is not a laughing matter.
I'm not laughing. I cannot laugh here, council.
Okay, if you speak too fast, the interpreters may not get what you are saying, and if it is not recorded, that would not be to your advantage. So allow for time between your speech and that of the interpreter, so that everything is recorded. You understand? Good. So on this particular issue, okay? Babu Cham has said you have attacked these suspects who were being beaten by Alaji Moore when you arrived. You denied that.
Ako Alaji Moore benyul menu lipakang birite fanang futata drong ifanang kafute male amonta saying wa mukuma soto balol.
That is not true.
So that is a lie.
Amunda umfani alde.
Yes.
Babu Cham told the commission
that
this person, Ngansumana Fati, confided in him that the injuries he had received on his private parts were inflicted by you. That too is a lie.
Akachata tumo mena Babu Cham ye ko baramo memba akeya bala ko itele yo ake wokala wokabara mawonya amunda ayo memfana mfonya ofana mfani alde.
That's a lie. I have never gotten insight to interact with them, so how would I be in a position to enjoy him?
Okay. Now let's move on.
Kabu.
No, before that.
At
this time, during this operation, who were you working with?
Operation
Mustafa Sise.
Omar Jamme.
Haidara.
Who? Yes, because this operation, like coming
a source operation.
But malong operation o munekeda in other reinforcement munekede bulfo reinforcement or call.
I do not know what happened in the operation which warranted them to call for enforcement.
Okay, that is the time you enter key. Operation
That was when I was sent. So when I went up to the area where the operation was taking place, I did not understand what the operation entailed.
As I explained, Omar and Mustafa Jamme inside the taxi.
Omar Jamme and Mustafa Sise.
Omar Jamme and Mustafa Sise. You have special operations, correct?
Yes.
Special operation
yeah.
Who was the head of his full name?
It is a job, I believe.
It is a job, I believe.
Who was his 2IC?
Jumale Simbate Kang.
No, Gajaga or ARK Jallo. I don't know. I cannot remember, sorry.
But you were part of the team.
I was part of the team.
Rebecca Fogonin Conole.
And do you realize that this team had a
Okay.
I said this team, special operations, had a bad reputation at the NIA.
I was not aware of that.
In fact, special operations was there to carry out special tasks that interested Yaya Jammeh.
Correct.
That
Yellow functions for patrol,
their functions are patrolling.
Patrol what?
night patrols, witnessing,
Hold on a second. Executive directives of who?
Jumala kuma kangolo purka wolu tamandi kadu niko executive directives wole mkuntonkola ya marolu jumala modi
for the former president. President Koto.
bari basansa mamme ba kay nyim foko also special operations e kaw do ko lu menuke wol do ko lu jamaabe kono ya jamela finna ko
Trusted him.
Are you with us? Chief Executive, the Commander-in-Chief.
Okay, I agree. Sondan.
I agree.
Sondan.
I agree.
That
we usually witness that also.
No, you enforce it.
No, I witness it. I witness it.
Mr. Witness?
Yes.
You don't just go and stand and witness. You go and enforce it.
I did not enforce anything, I only witnessed it.
Only senior killing.
Only once.
This Nimu Edu Gomez ning Marcin Firdaus, huh?
The case of Edu Gomez and Maris Firdaus.
I don't remember Nyama.
But only I can recall her name properly.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Witness.
When I was sent there to go there and be a witness,
this was Fitero Dasata demanding.
It was close to 7 p.m. I went and found Edu Gomez.
Taking over Kela.
He was to take over
from Mari.
From Mari.
Okay, Marina had a call. Mari
made a call and spoke to him, and Mari said that she was not feeling well.
Okay, message relay back to my boss then, Liz Gomez.
I relayed the message back to my boss then, Liz Gomez, and I said to him that
the outgoing minister, why not Ngabulaje for Sama Somanda?
The outgoing minister has reported sick. Why don't we leave this thing and carry it out tomorrow?
Okay, I'll get back to you.
And he said, okay, I'll get back to you.
So another call,
but then he called me again.
Ako president go for atlem president or fontelem president.
Ako?
The president said, is the lady the president or he is the president?
No, ako president ko.
He said the president said that. That suggested that the woman be allowed until tomorrow. Whether I am the president or he was the president.
Okay.
And what did that mean?
Which means we have to do it by force. The handing and taking over has to take place. So I drive not Edu TJ, ndara marinomas ala suokon.
So I left Edu there and I drove and I went and met Mari in her home.
Angako, please.
And I said to her, please.
After I spoke to you,
and I suggested to you to wait until tomorrow because I suggested that to her.
Report back,
when I reported back,
okay,
the response that I got,
risk start then drive for taking and handing over.
I couldn't take the risk, which was why I had to drive to her house to appeal to her so that she could come and effect the handing over.
Did she have a choice?
No, she doesn't.
Exactly.
Doesn't have a choice.
But
this is what I told you, that you were to enforce these changes. You said you were only to witness.
Okay. This is why I remember only once.
Mr.
That is Maricen in the case. I told you that.
I was the one that told you that there was only one time.
I remember only one case. This is it.
Edu Gomez and Mari.
Mari is still alive.
Mr.
I am alive.
Witness, the issue is
your
role as special operations in with regards to these executive orders was to implement them, to enforce them by force. That was your role, to make sure that it happened.
Allalo dula mumenti wo executive orders la Carola. Wolem nyinti ko aliya ko tamandi ayke ko anyanta ala atelafta la nyaming amunta wolem ko kumuti.
I accept not to waste your time and to trouble you or to trouble myself. I accept.
Well, I think if you are honest and truthful, we would proceed very quickly. But if you think you can play games and waffle around and lie, at the end of the day, we will get the answers that we need. You would have wasted a lot of time.
This is not a place to play
Then
games.
stop playing games.
This is why I bring it to you.
I told you that we never enforced, but then I remembered this issue. That was why I brought it to you, to your attention.
Do you know what executive directive means?
Executive directive akoto fangumundi wo kalimo akoto mumendi yalon.
Mr. Chair, go ahead.
Ko president la yamar lolu wala kumakamon.
The directives of the president.
The instructions of the president that a particular act must be done.
Yes.
Do you have a choice in that?
For ye nyado sotole si mentamandino woto bam president wala wo kumakangulu na e menu fo.
Yes,
sometimes I got them.
I'll bring an instant to you, please. That of Usman Jammeh. Bra Usman Jammeh Bondi.
When Usman Jammeh was sacked.
Usman Jammeh handing over.
And requested that he makes a handing over.
It was in the rainy summer.
It was during the rainy season.
I think Batin Hiding Highway, Jam.
By the Batin Hiding Highway.
Energy Ministry. I
went there at the Energy Ministry with Usman. The lights went off.
So, handing over, taking over Keno.
We couldn't effect the handing over and taking over.
Call back to the office. I appealed.
I made a call back to the office and appealed.
Mr. Witness, please don't waste our time.
Okay.
The question was whether you had a choice.
I don't have a choice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Chair, perhaps we can take the coffee break. Thank you. Microphone.
Saying that, witness, you can prevaricate and prevaricate, but we are going, this commission is